As a man among men, I am a healer and I heal. And because of that, I put this video out about this realization, epiphany, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But just one of these gems that just I find recently just seems to happen is just the gem of synchronicity, when just a message or a saying or words or a song or visuals or anything could just spark a realization and awareness. So today I had this call with some of my MKP brothers, and I hosted the call, and I really wanted to dive into and hear more perspective on something that I was experiencing around Father's Day. And it was around my dad and just how his culture and how he was is an imprint on how I am today, both in a positive and a negative perspective. And it was a great conversation, and something that happened in the conversation sparked something within me that put some pieces together. Like, you ever have those situations where, like, all of a sudden you hear something and then previous conversations or visuals or scenarios all just kind of sync together, like clink, like, and the puzzle pieces is solved, or the puzzle solved. And It was a comment that made me think that, wow, maybe since our fathers, and in this case I'm going to go fathers and mothers, I'm going masculine and feminine, but if our fathers and mothers gifted us with a DNA that, let's just say, they did the best they could to work with in their circumstances, but let's just say that there was a DNA that there were parts of the DNA that were never uncovered with our parents, that as they gifted us life, then there was, my thought was that, what if we are brought into this realm through our DNA and through our ancestors to figure something out, to be a piece that that can carry the line into another realm or decree or belief system or whatever it is, but just a shift from what the traditional ancestral flow or vibe was. So I just thought it was really fascinating, because as I started to really examine it, it was great, because it gave me an opportunity to let go of any kind of victim shit, martyrdom shit, like my dad didn't do this shit, and it gave me an opportunity to really look at the gifts that my mom and my dad have given me, and look at the gifts that they didn't give me. Because within that, like, I don't know if for those that are watching this video, if you're like me after your parents have passed, I've learned more about my parents in their passing than when they were alive. And it's really been fascinating, because to me it's almost like a movie, a national treasure. Like, oh my God, I get to put these pieces together, and not only do I find out more about them, but I find out more about myself. So it's really interesting to really think that way, and I think I invite us all to think that way, and think of what did they leave for us to figure out? Like, what do we get to figure out in this time frame that's going to elevate the line or the ancestry or the DNA that we've been gifted? Because really, I think that's part of what makes us us. We stray away from that, or we want to blame and be a victim, when in reality it's like, okay, well, you've been gifted this. Like, it's not always going to come with the instructor manual. That's just what this global life course is. This game of life doesn't come with an instruction manual. You got to figure out the game as we go. So use the ancestry, use the DNA that you've been gifted. Take the time and really think this through. And if again, if you're like me and both your parents are gone, like, really, we're the front line now. So we get an opportunity, really, where it's like, we can, if we have kids, or we have descendants, then we can give them the opportunity to learn more about us, so that they can learn that they can figure out what their next step is, outside of what we've done, outside of our culture, outside of how they've been raised. And it also gives me some surrender to know that there's going to be parts, like, you know, when I move on, like, there's going to be some things that Noah and Elijah and any other kid that I have in this lifetime, they're going to hate my guts for. Hey, and there's going to be things that they love me for. And my hope is that they know that I did the best that I can. So with that, I'm going to wrap this thing up before 6 minutes comes, because the time span, attention span, if you stay this long, thank you. But check your DNA, check the ancestry, check your line, and really sit and understand what have they gifted to you, for you to figure out in this lifetime to elevate the line. So with that, I'm signing out, and until the next video, be well and take care of yourself.